Olá pessoal, sejam muito bem-vindos. Esse seguinte, a temporada acabou, é verdade, mas a gente não gosta de ficar parado e a gente arrumou um episódio, uma saideira dentro dessa temporada do Quinto Dia Útil. O Carlos me apresentou duas pessoas que vão ter uma história muito interessante para contar, uma empresa dentro do segmento de remuneração que tem muito interesse no mercado brasileiro. O Carlos pode contar um pouquinho de como é isso aqui. E a gente falou, cara, que tal fazer um bate-papo desse aqui em São Paulo? A gente está numa sala bem legal, de um coworking famoso aqui. E vamos aproveitar esse momento agora para fazer um bate-papo interessante. Carlos, seja bem-vindo, obrigado.
Prazer estar aqui de novo, mais uma vez. E a gente não ia perder a oportunidade, né?
Uhum.
A gente está tendo uma visita internacional aqui e a gente queria muito contar para vocês, né, tudo isso que está acontecendo e com certeza que muitas das necessidades que a gente vê aí no mercado, a gente vai falar um pouquinho aqui sobre isso. Então, fica aí com a gente que vem conversa boa por aí.
Tá, vamos apresentá-los aqui então. Abre a câmera, estamos ali agora, fechou? Sachin Prateek, welcome to Brazil.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Are you enjoying here?
Very much, very much. We feel like home. I think it's only 3 days and we feel like we've been living here. Thanks to our partner Carlos, who has made us feel like home. And I think in general, we love people here. Actually, it's the same energy we feel in Southeast Asia, in our own country, India. So,
wow,
amazing.
Oh, let me explain something first. Like, se você precisa agora de uma legenda, é muito fácil. Você não precisa recorrer a nada. Dentro do próprio YouTube, você consegue acessar lá nas opções, ativar legenda, e você consegue ativar a legenda em português já. Então, toda a conversa vai ser em inglês. E aí você vai ter a tradução dentro dessa legenda. Beleza? Vamos continuar aqui. I was explaining about the translation because we have a conversation in English, but the YouTube can provide, this is so good and very fast, like we don't need to do the translation, providing in Portuguese, so it's very fast.
Cool.
Yeah. And you, Prateek, are you enjoying here?
Oh, absolutely. I love it. The weather is so good. The people are so nice and helpful. As Sachin said, it's very similar to how we have things in India. So
Yeah.
totally loving my time here.
What is the similarities we have between Brazil and India? Can you see something like this? Because
a lot of them, yeah. I think the first thing is the kind of versatility, energy, trying to fix things, and they come to your way. I think that's very common traits in Southeast Asia and India specifically. I think we love that passion, that energy, that innovation which goes into it. And the similar traits we are finding, and we started finding in Brazil as well. I think second thing is in terms of the need for new innovation, new technologies like Compport, for example, it's coming right in the center of it. That's why we are here, and we feel that that's the same kind of environment which is available in Southeast Asia, and hence Brazil we found so much of similarity as well. I think there's a hunger to get that automation done in the environment. So that's very nice.
we're doing a conversation during the lunch about these, and I asked you, what do you think the reason that we have similarity in this point of fix something, the passion of problems? I told you, I think that the way we are as country, underdeveloped country, but you have a different opinion. Can you explain for the audience?
Yeah, sure. I think it's a matter of perspective. To be frank, your perspective might be right as well. But I feel that when people, are in a stage where they want to aim something bigger, right? That drives a lot of innovation, and that drives more hard work basically around that. It's not necessarily that the aim is to be rich or be a developed country for that matter. I think it's a very natural habit of human being. When you are in stress, when you are in need, when you are struggling with your life, you actually go through that particular struggle and try to come out of that with the flourishing colors. And that's what our countries actually do. And all the citizens are in that stage that they want to be bigger, better, innovators and so on. US, European, which we call developed countries, they might be an aspirational, destination for them. But I think we want to make our countries like that. And that's the natural aspiration. Money is not only the driving factor in my view.
Yeah. I can understand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I'd like to add another perspective to this, and it's something that Carlos told us a couple of days back, that people have this attitude to fix things very quickly. And in India, we have a word called jugaad, which is a very local Indian word, but it means exactly that no matter what the problem is, you find a solution towards it. And I think that's one big commonality that I feel in Indian and Brazilian culture as I'm exploring it.
When you go to US and you ask something for a specialist, like, do you know something about this? And I'm not a specialist about this. Please consult another guy. But here in Brazil, if you do something, I need to help you. Let me find you some answer. Or
I don't know, but I'm trying to find someone that knows. Yeah.
This is different. I agree with you. Like, I don't understand too, but this is make us more
helpful.
Helpful.
Say. Yeah.
And this is the reason maybe the Americans like Brazil ask for Brazilians to come. Like, we have Brazilian guy working with compensation in US and India a lot. Going to US and all over the world. Like,
because of the flexibility also that we have, and we can adapt things and make it happen. So I think this is something that when you need the creativity and all this stuff, we are in a good field for that, I believe.
See, the fact of the life is that developed countries like US, Europe, they have a lot of money, right? But they don't have innovations. And where they go for innovation is countries like Brazil, India, Poland, Vietnam, Indonesia. That's where all their back-end operations are actually, because they can't handle that complexity in their country. Their own people cannot handle those things. And that's when they go out and try to get. Now they have money, so they throw the money and get the business and services. So that's a clear fact that where the innovation is happening is the rest of the world, other than the developed countries, because they become comfortable sitting, and not doing anything at all.
But in this point, I would like to have a connection with Compport and to explain. But one more point about this: if we have this kind of innovation, like Brazil, for example, when you go to understand about our income or revenue, about the revenue of the country's revenue, income. So we have agriculture in first, and then we don't have technology here. Like, we need to import technology from US, from Europe, from all the parts of the world, but we don't have this. And about India, we have a group of countries like Brazil, India, Russia, China, and South Africa. So when you see these countries, except of China, because they are investing too much, I don't know, India, I would like to understand about you. We don't have technology here, and we suffer. And should be the opposite, because like you told, we have this passion to solve problems, to fix them. So what do you think about it? And talk about India for us. And then the Compport, why they born in the market.
Sure. I think the one thing which probably Western countries like US, or maybe for that matter, some European countries have as an advantage, they're very good marketeers, right? No matter what they produce and generate an idea, I think they are able to convert that as a commercial business and spread it across the world. They are very good at that.
Everything's fantastic.
Exactly. That's where I think the developing countries, so-called developing countries like Brazil, India, lack. And I think while if you know that the back-end operations of many manufacturing or many ideas, innovation centers are actually again back in India and back in Indonesia or Southeast Asia and so on, I think they are not the one who are the initiators. They don't generate the idea and then commercialize it and launch it. Though it's happening, it's changing. India, for example, last year alone had hundreds and thousands of new startups which actually, have been successful. Not only started, but they've been successful. And that generated so much of business. And then now those startups are also going outward. Compport is one of the company which actually generated the business from India itself in the beginning. And now we are bringing that business to the Western world as well. We are launching ourselves in Middle East, in Europe, US last year, and now we're coming to the South American market as well. So this is happening. Slow, gradual process, but I think this is happening. And I'm sure in near future there'll be a lot of other brands, a lot of other technologies which are growing and developed in countries like India and Brazil. They will go outward as well. So we have a bit of learning curve for the marketing of brand outward.
Please.
Oh, no. I think I totally echo Sachin's sentiment over here. I think 10, 15 years ago, we had technology in India. It was growing. It was big. But we did not have that many Indian products that were doing well around the globe. Now it's completely different. With SaaS, there are a lot of good Indian products, not just in HR, but in general, that have high aspirations of doing good in the Western markets as well. So, like, we talk about Compport, we launched ourselves in Southeast Asia, in Middle East, in US, and now in Brazil. The idea is more and more such products are trying to make a name for themselves globally. So technology was always there. Now it's also collaborating with aspirations to have a bigger, global impact.
Wow. What is your mission in Compport? And you are CEO, you are head of growth, but first tell us about the Compport, how it begins, and there is a beautiful story behind these.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think I would say a lot of it was grown because of love, and some part of it was grown out of pain as well. You can say love, because when I finished almost about 18 years in corporate life, doing comp and ben for various corporations in pharmaceutical and telecom and so on, I think I was bored, actually, to be frank. And I also knew that there has to be a way out in technology to manage this boredom in this job. It's very monotonous. Every year you are doing repeated things over and over and over again. So I knew that there is something which is there as a hidden idea which has to be addressed. So that was one part, my pain part. But the more important part is how it triggered. And it triggered because I was working with my co-founder and my wife as well, my life partner and my business partner. I was working together with her in Dubai, and we decided that because we are in relationship, we are having a conflict of interest, and one of us has to leave the job. Okay. And I decided to leave the job because it's the same company, and I had to do something. So shall I go to finding another job, or should I actually pursue that idea which is hidden in the back of my mind and try to launch a company? And I chose the later one. And I'm super happy about it. I think so. That's why I give a full credit to the love part of it, how Compport was born. Otherwise, I think I would have continued my life as a corporate person. I would have continued for many years as well. I was doing very well, in fact, in that area as well. So that was the birth of Compport in 2018. And then we had 2019, which came. We did good business in the first year itself. Got some very large enterprise clients. And then COVID happened, actually, the several hit which we got, but we survived very well in COVID time, and then got investment in 2022, and we never looked back, I think. So since then, we have been growing very well.
And the first round of investment was 2020.
22, absolutely. That's the time when we really grew almost about 10 folds in 2 years itself. Yeah.
And tell me about your position right now, what do you do? Are you living in America? You have this connection, India, US, now maybe South. Tell us about your position, because, when you work with comp, I'm not for compensation too. I'm a marketing guy that work with marketing sales. You are in growth. So this is cool to understand, because I think this kind of different, this mind different, like come to marketing can become the comp area different, I think, and you are part of this right now.
No, I totally agree there. It's a very different road. And I'll talk about my whole journey in Compport. So 3.5 years ago, I met this fine gentleman. And one thing that he did was he inspired me to solve for compensation problems around the globe. I have studied HR before, so I had an idea, and then I just joined ships. I was one of the early members. And my role initially was to do everything. You know how it works in startups. I was doing sales, I was doing implementations, customer success. But then eventually, as more and more clients came in, as the organization grew, I had a very unique role. It's basically GTM in new markets. So my role started in Indonesia first.
Mhm.
So I set up market there. I got our first few
Indonesia.
clients. That's right.
What's
So
the name of the
first
university?
India, then Indonesia,
Mhm.
and then more recently last year, I shifted my base and completely relocated to USA. I'm now based out of San Francisco, and that's when I met Carlos as well. So this growth in Brazil kind of came in as an idea at that point in time. So it's been multiple geographies. The good part is the product is such, it requires very minimal changes to suit to different geographies. So it's been a fun and an easy ride for me over the last 3 years. I've been part of the company.
Good. And what's your mission right now, talking about this global expansion? And what's your mission as a growth guy? And what's your mission and intentions coming to the South America? What do you see, guys, with advantages to come for this market in comparison with the US market, for example? 2 questions. You got it.
I think need is something which drives the business,
Okay.
So we believe that any markets where the technology is still growing and there's a need to address a certain area, which is as specific as compensation within HR broader area, I think that's a key market for us automatically. But the other reason why we selected specifically Brazil is I think not only actually technology, other than other cultural similarity, I think finding a right partner in the new market is extremely important. And immediately we got very lucky that we met G3 and Carlos, in that event. And from there, very quick conversation happened. The moment we start talking to people and then we start understanding there's a market need, there is a product, we have a product which can fulfill that need, and then we have a partner. I think 3 key things actually immediately drives a decision to go there. And that's what happened with Compport as well. And we are happy that, it happened so suddenly, so fast. I don't think that if we would have not met G3 and, in that event, we would have taken a chance to come here, because going into new market is not only challenging, it's very time consuming, you need investment as well. So we are super happy about this partnership and super excited about it.
Absolutely. We're also really happy with this, because when I talk to professionals, human resources or whatever, I always say that they need to pay attention to what is needed, so what the business needs and how they can achieve this, and about the network also. So I think these are some of the key elements that make the difference for any professional. So when I saw what Compport could offer, I found out that there's a plenty of need here in Brazil, and we could absolutely make the difference for our clients to solve many issues for that. So we're also happy with this partnership that happened very quickly, and we're so aligned with our purpose. So it just happened. Really happy with that.
Right. One more thing I want to add is that when we went to World at Work in the last 2 years, we met a lot of people from Brazil. A large Brazilian contingent comes there. And as we talked to them, we realized that the maturity at which Brazil as a market sits in terms of compensation is quite high as compared to other countries in geography. We felt, our product could really create an impact in this geography. So the level of sophistication, the level of maturity of compensation processes need a solution like ours to make a full impact. And that's why this became our first geography to kind of enter into South American markets.
Can you make a pitch in 2 minutes to explain to the audience what you have about Compport product? Both of you.
I think he's the sales guy. He can do it very well, I'm sure.
Right.
Sell it to Emerson.
Sure. In 1 minute, we are an end-to-end compensation management platform. What I mean by end-to-end is that we cover all facets of compensation management, be it your salary processes, your bonus processes, sales incentive, long-term incentives. The management of this, involving leaders, managers into the process as well, and then eventually also releasing communication of rewards to your employees. So the management, the actual process running, as well as the communication, all of this happens on our product in a single point in time.
the workflow, the merit, all the process we have with the comp guys doing, we can use your platform, reducing time in order.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If I have to summarize the whole thing probably into one, what is these kind of functionality, those features might be available in probably few other solutions as well. I think what makes Comport's very unique and stand apart is the ability and agility to manage a huge amount of diversity in the composition area. Right? If you go from the smallest of the organization, young startups, to a mid-segment growth kind of organization, to a large enterprise, their needs are quite varied. They keep maturing and they keep changing their models, they keep changing their workflow and so on. What our solution does very well is meet those needs in every part of the journey. So we made it in a more like a PaaS, which is platform as a service, rather than SaaS, because SaaS means actually it's a fixed platform and you have to use it. What we believe is that we need to offer a product which is fit for the requirement of a client, not to be imposed on them, as a fixed solution. So that's where we stand really, really apart from any other solution in the world for that matter.
Wow.
Adding on to Sachin's point, I think one of the happiest clients with us are those people who think that their process is unique, a system can't solve for that. These are the kind of people that find a lot of joy with Compport just because of the things Sachin mentioned, that we actually develop for clients. We actually solve for specific needs, which very few products in the market can at this point in time.
I got really impressed when I saw it at the conference. When Prateek showed me, we started speaking, and he told me everything that the platform could do. And I said, "Oh, this guy must be kidding." So I asked, "Can you show me?" Yeah, and he showed the platform. So it was something that is really unique. So it's something that in one platform you can do. For fixed remuneration, for variable pay, like short-term, long-term, or sales, budgeting, interacting with line managers, employees in only one platform. So the security that this provides to the process, and mainly the speed that you can have with it is something really unique. I'll tell you. I never knew a tool like this that could do all of this for us as compensation professionals.
So can you see a competitor here in Brazil for Compport, or this competitor? I extend this question for you. Like in America, US, you have competitors like that do the same, or you are in a different position?
We just do it better.
Do better, good. So
better and faster.
But you can see here in Brazil some competition with the platform you have, or not? We don't have.
I think Carlos can answer it better because we are not expert. We haven't heard about it, but maybe Carlos can.
Yeah, I think we have some of the global tools that we may have.
Seller.com is a competitor.
Yes.
Yeah. That they do. I think they do part of it.
Okay.
But as such a comprehensive platform, I don't know. At least I don't know any that has operations here.
Here.
Yeah. In this sense, no, because there are really good tools that go for one part or another part. But as a whole picture, no, I don't think so.
So tell me, where is our consulting firm in your process? We have the biggest database here in Brazil. I told you it was almost 4,000 subscriptions. 75% of these is big companies, global companies. So, but our main product is a survey that covers salary, short-term incentive benefits. Where is my survey in your platform?
Just after the survey is done, Compport starts.
Okay, after the survey.
Exactly the point where you deliver the survey to the enterprise clients, and then what do they do with the survey is what our platform helps them to do actually very effectively, which is building the pay ranges, moving them into a kind of a merit cycle or ad hoc changes in the compensation, doing some bonus things, LTA planning and so on. We even have a solution which actually allows our clients to manage the candidate compensation offer that again links up with the market data reference, because when we're trying to hire talent, you always look at internal parity but external parity as well. So those are the things which connects dots absolutely. So we see very close linkage to the point where market servers end basically.
Okay, 2 questions. First, can the customer manage or survey on your platform? And second, do you create the strategy, for example, for pay ranges or other things, or you need to ask for, or the client asks for G3, Carreira Miller, and other consultant firm to produce this strategy, and then we can put this strategy inside it?
Later part, I think you can say later part we do better. We do not get into consulting. That's not we call ourselves expert in. So we rely on the consulting of companies like QDU or G3. And I think there's 2 parts to every process. One is what we call a thinking, and one is what we call an operation. So thinking part is what is consulting equivalent to, and the operational part is what our solution does very well. However, our people who do implementation of the clients, they are all from complement background. So not in a consulting way, but sharing the best practice is what we do quite well. So if we hear something where a client would be struggling to probably get an ROI from a sales incentive plan, and we know the similar industry, we have handled this case in another client, we will definitely offer our wisdom, you can say as such, to the client and do that. But we don't do our consulting work as a commercial arrangement with them at all. It's just part of our general knowledge sharing which we do with types.
You told me about a case, you have a company, a global company with, I don't remember, more than 30 places around the world that you connect to all these parts with these. Tell us about this, because it's part of this with another company.
Yeah, it is one of the oldest and very dear client of ours. It's called Dr. Really. In fact, they have presence in Brazil as well. They have a couple of hundred people working for them. I think this company started with us about 2021, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, I think 21. And since then, they've evolved the process with the solution itself. So for example, when they begin the journey, they did not know that they could go ahead with 250 to 300 managers worldwide participating in the process, right? They were only just discussing these Excel files with some of the leaders in the countries and trying to solve this compensation problem, right? Year on year and so on. With Compport, because the technology helped them now, on a click of a button, they can roll out this process to 250 to 300 people, managers all across the world. And for the last 4 years, it's growing actually. So the numbers are growing. They started with us, they were about 23,000. Now they're close to 30,000 people. So the organization is growing and complexity is growing, and hence solutions like Compport help them to not only steer through that particular growth path, but also enhance the process, created the environment where people managers are empowered to do compensation planning and recommendation. So I think that client is, we use as a case study in many of the cases as well. And one of the things which Compport does with our dear clients very, very well is that we are not those software vendors who sell it and then after that we forget about the client. I think we believe in a very long-term relationship into this journey. If we do not actually follow that, and clients say that next year my model is changing and I need to, this platform is not usual for me, they might probably shelve off very quickly. But what we do, we proactively go to the clients. Every quarter we have a cadence call, which we call. We ask them that what you are looking for next year, you tell us and we can build it for you. So our SaaS solution is continuously building and meeting their need, changing need as they want to change.
Improving, yeah. Absolutely. This is different because when you go to a huge consultant firm or something like that, we have my solution and go ahead with my solution.
Yeah.
Forget about custom for you. I don't know, but in Portuguese we have something put in a box and use that. It's not for you, it's for all of them.
Absolutely.
So about growth, what is the strategy? What is your target public? Can you tell us? Because it's for a small company or for a big company. What are you looking for?
Absolutely. I think the product is built in a way where it can be used across different companies. Typically, a third of our clients are large enterprises, a third of them are medium segment companies, and a third are small segment companies. So in essence, we solve for all different headcounts. Specifically in Brazil, I think the companies that will have maximum benefit for a product like ours would be 1,000 and above. Why I say this is because, there will be a certain degree of sophistication in the process that our product will be able to solve for very well. So 1,000 and above headcount across different industries are some of the companies that we would be wanting to target in our growth journey in Brazil.
Is our market, I told you, I think it's 75 or more is about companies, manufacturers that we have. So this is the question I was talking with Carlos, because the companies middle size is good. Specifically in Brazil, we're talking about 50,000 companies that represent 20% of the income of Brazil. So, but these companies, they don't have a specialist in compensation. So to cross this frontier is not so easy, because when we talk about statistic or something, we don't have a guy that understands about it. So we are trying to custom our product to a generalist HR guy. It's not for a compy guy, because we don't have comp.
And they don't have time to do that.
Yeah.
So because all these features take many time much time to do it.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to make a merit cycle, to make a promotion cycle, variable pay. It takes time. So many companies just don't do a variable pay program because they don't know how to. They cannot do it because they don't have people to do
manage,
it. So and manage all this process, because you need focus on that. So when you have only a couple of generalists doing that, they do selection, they do training, they do a lot of
payroll
and everything else. And they cannot take like 2 weeks, 3 weeks working on a process like this. So I truly believe that this meets this sort of need. Yeah.
What do you think? Because I need to make connection with this. What do you think about AI? You think AI is gonna take these positions, job position of the comp specialist? Because when we think about your platform, you need a human being to control, but all this stuff are there. They control the workflow, or you have a manager that is putting the merit or other things that they need, and maybe you have a code or something in your system to say yes or no, and not a human being, and not a compy guy to say yes or no anymore. What do you think about AI connecting with your platform, about your the next 5 years we have? Like,
I think AI is a funny word. I think people use and abuse it worldwide. And many products I've seen that they actually talk about AI and they say we have AI features and we have AI functionality. I think ultimately AI itself is very new, and I think it requires extensive amount of experience and background. And people have to engage with AI to evolve it, right? It's not that it automatically will evolve. Ultimately, the code itself is written by a human being. But before I answer that, to address that particular part where many companies which are probably small to mid segment or moving into the mid segment, they may not have a complement professional. We did a very good experimentation with Compport about 4 years back when we were very young. I really wanted to address that need. And what I did, we made a platform, an instance basically on our platform, and we called actually 2-3 children. Okay, children, school going children. They were like in 6th standard, 7th standard, 10th standard. And we asked them that you sit here and try to just play around with the system openly.
Wow,
okay.
Good.
And when they started playing out, with our system, how it works is it's like a questionnaire. So you keep asking question, system is keep asking question, it has some objective type responses and you keep selecting. Out of probably many experiments which we did, I think most of them actually reached to the last stage of creating a rule in compensation benefit. It was really fascinating to see. There's one difference though. What I believe that young children have much more experimental mindset. They like to play new things. wherein old people who are already in profession for 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, and they are pretty little in the mid age basically, they think that everything should be structured enough for me. They don't like to do experimentation. That's the difference probably. But as a solution, I think there are ways and means of managing it. And that experiment proved that you don't require a competent experience or background to use a solution like that.
Well, this is the point. Like we need to produce like this. I think we hope the applications we have is the same. You put in a child's hand and try this one. Like, if they don't use, forget it. Go to UX and guys and try another one. Man. Because my kid, 4-year-old kid, he's not able to do well. Yeah.
Now coming back to the second question, which is about AI and what we are seeing as an evolution in specifically Compport. There are a couple of things which we are trying to evolve, but one thing which I'm very excited about, this is the use of the natural language processing. It's called NLP. And what it does, similar to you, what challenge you just posed, in the beginning of the question, that what if the solution actually tells you what to do next, right? This is exactly what NLP does. NLP is a language script transformation tool. Okay, it's an AI language. And what it does, if a manager is, let's say, driving a car, and a mail has popped up in his mobile that your team salary review process has been launched, would you like to start the process? So that system and software will basically tell them. And while driving, they will just basically keep giving the commands, verbal commands to the computer, to the mobile phone and application, and system will keep responding and taking action. So what this language does, take your voice language. It's not Siri, it's not a translation, nothing at all, but it converts that into a script-based command to the system and takes the action itself. For example, if I have 20 people in my team and I'm trying to say, please give 10% increment to my first employee, the system will tell me that with this 10% increment, this employee will go to 0.9 compa ratio. However, you are still going to keep this person 30% lower than the peer member. So this person is not actually at par with it. Would you like to recommend 10% more increase? So imagine that kind of interactive session happening while the manager is driving his car. I think that's what we are going to make a reality very soon. We have already experimented that. It's a kind of a ready code. We have run it in a couple of pages and so on. But soon enough, I think we'll be launching that.
Wow, I love it. I use my chat GPT and I love to have a conversation because I can do my English classes. I can set the accent. Like I would like to talk about British or that, and then during our travel, I'm going to do an interview with a guy like this and that. Could you suggest me some questions and take a look over there? So, this is something very good because I was not type anything. It's just this kind of conversation. We work driving. So, man, I think it's a good challenge. I don't know, like our Brazilian market is open for technology and good services. It's not easy to work here, but it is open. When you have a good solution, I think we have all the possibilities because the companies we have, they have money to pay for good things, for people that want to solve their problems with good solutions fast. So,
just to correct, we are not here for money. I think we are here. We truly believe that if you do the right thing, if you use this solution as a value addition aspect to an organization, I think money will not be a problem. It is the reverse. That do you have money to take the solution, or do you take the solution to generate money to pay for it? So we believe that compensation is one area where comp professionals not only has to look at compensation as an operational aspect of the business, but actually driving the top line and the bottom line and the productivity and the enhancement and the retention of the talent and so on. There's so many aspects to it. If they start thinking from that angle and then use the technology to help them to manage these operational aspects of it, I think that is the right path for any organization to be super in compensation area for me.
I agree. let me see the time, we are going to the end, but what is easier? It's a father, entrepreneur, you have a kid with 7 months right now. So what is easier?
What is easier?
Is there an answer for that? I'm not sure.
I think I'm a very different person, by the way. I don't find life is hard anytime, very frank. When I was in 2020 and the COVID hit, and I felt extremely bad that I lost the business just last year, and this situation happened. A normal person would have probably lost the faith. I'm a very faithful person, a very optimistic person. That every difficult situation brings a great opportunity also. I think that's what happened.
It's a learning.
It's absolutely. So whether it's growing your child, my child is 7 months old. Whether it was the first 1 month when you had to get up probably 5 times in the night to feed him, or now that you have to play. At 7-8 months, kids start getting a lot of attention. They don't feel good when you don't give them attention. So they need 24/7 attention to them. I think I find them very exciting, similar to how I find exciting doing business and talking to people and doing this, podcast itself. I find life is very beautiful in every moment. And it's just the perspective how you give back to you.
Good.
And how to enjoy it.
Absolutely. You should just enjoy it. Most difficult part of it.
It's not a easy or hard. It's just enjoy your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you were going to get married.
So I think I'm at a very different point of life as compared to Sachin. I'm getting married in the next 2 months. So very excited about what lies ahead. My wife is from India. From my hometown itself. We've been in love with each other for the last many, many years now. And it's the right time to take the next step in my life. So super excited about that.
Yeah.
And we'd love to hear some curiosities. So
go ahead.
Can you tell us how is it a marriage, like the wedding party, how it happens? Because it's really different of what we have here in Brazil.
So the part of India that I come from, it's Punjabi culture that's known for having big fat weddings. What I mean by big fat weddings is it lasts for 3 to 4 days.
3-4 days.
Almost 500-600 people come in, party like crazy, have fun. So culturally, marriage is very important in India. My parents are super excited about it because they are, thinking so much about what's going to happen. But at the same time, I think I personally wanted to keep it low key. But nobody heard me. So my parents really are going all in. And I'm also kind of excited about it now. And one fun thing about marriages is that the man comes on a horse. Which is very I'll be coming on a horse to take my bride. So that's
so white horse or no, it doesn't matter the color.
I'm sure there is some ancient reason why horse. But I don't know about that. I just know everybody comes on horse.
Yeah, but it's white horse. Mostly it's white horse.
White horse.
The funny part about Indian wedding is that, you invite people who are your neighbor. You invite your relatives and their relatives as well. You invite your friends and their friends as well. So you have everybody who you meet in the last probably 3, 6 years, 5 years. You invite everybody to the wedding.
Wow.
And when you are in the wedding, poor bride and poor groom, they're the only one who actually stands all the time because all the 250 people have to come and shake hands with them and wish them. They keep standing and everybody else enjoys the party.
People, you just say hi at once. they show up to your marriage.
And then they enjoy food. They just dance and poor bride and groom just standing for 2 hours, 3 hours.
Wow.
It's very, very much painful, I think.
But
it's quite a unique experience.
Yeah, but in your tradition, who's gonna pay this huge party? Because here in Brazil, remember in the past, the bride, the family's bride,
should pay for
the party.
I think so. Traditionally, that was the case in India as well, but with modern India, that has completely changed. So in our families, in urban Indian families, it's a combination. So we kind of split that cost because, as you can imagine, it's a huge cost because of how much happens in those 3 days. So
and I'm relieved Compport doesn't have to pay for it.
Yeah. So my last question, and you can say for everybody, like give a message to the Brazilian people, especially for the Comp guys right now. They are watching you and listen. Like, tell us your intention, I don't know, what you see for this expansion, especially seeing the Brazilian market and other things you have in your mind right now. The microphone is yours.
I think I'm a very open and transparent person. So I would my message to not only Brazilian complementarity, but everybody who is probably listening even beyond that is that technology and your thought process, basically, I think if they both marry, the biggest thing which will happen is it will bring a lot of efficiency, it will bring a lot of intelligence, and the thing which I talked about, that the compensation function as such, it not only has to get stable on that seat on the table for the business, but it can drive the business itself. I think look forward to freeing your space by using technology. You are freeing your space because you are squeezing the whole operational aspect into a very small part of your role. And when you free your space, you will have time to think, right? You will have time to holiday, and during the holiday, you can think strategically how I will elevate myself, and hence I will elevate my function and my company in terms of being much more better impact with your company as well. I think that's what I would like to probably leave for everybody to the key message.
I think we will have more information about this partnership during the next year.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're just launching the partnership, so we'll have some great news very soon. Having it in Portuguese and all this stuff, because I truly believe, as Sachin said, we have to release our time to be really strategic. It's not just filling spreadsheets or sending emails, back emails, and all this stuff that add value to the business. The strategic thinking, going to know the business, what the business needs, and how we can achieve that, how can we influence and impact that. That's what we as compensation professionals should do. And I truly believe this will be a real gain for everyone.
Okay. And Prateek, you'd like to say something?
Absolutely. There's a saying that we have between all of us in comp world. Compensation as a profession is strategic by nature, but operational by operations.
It says.
By essence, yeah, sorry. Oh, thank you for reading me. Operational by essence. And as a product, we try to change that. We try to bring the strategy back in compensation by taking care of everything operations on our end. For anybody listening, in terms of compensation professionals, I don't know how much we can solve for you at this point, but something that we definitely guarantee is once you look at the product, you would say, wow, what a product. That's something we can absolutely promise you guys. So do give us a chance. Would love to interact with people in the Brazilian market and show them what we got for them over here.
Okay. Thank you so much for this conversation, Carlos. Thank you so much.
My
again.
pleasure.
It's a pleasure all the time to talk with people from different cultures, countries, and that provide different solutions. Like, this is the point of this podcast. We have different conversations all the time, bringing people from the outside of this world of compensation, because when you think outside from this box, I think we can open the eyes to different way to solve the problem. So thank you so much again.
Thank you very much, Emerson. We enjoyed the conversation very well. I'm sure the audience will also enjoy it, and looking forward to having more conversation.
Okay, we'll talk more about this. This is a huge door for compensation here in Brazil. Podcast Quinto Dia Útil. Remember this? No, you told me, Prateek, you heard about us, our podcast this year. So
yes, that's right.
Yeah, it's a influencing internationally.
Yeah, we are growing with this.
Yeah, absolutely. You're married.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Espero que você tenha gostado. Essa foi a Saideira 2024. Mas, se você quer bater papo como esse aqui, Orlando 2025 Rewards está aí, Carlos, e eu acho que nada melhor do que na saideira você já dar um anúncio aí para quem está querendo.
Com certeza. A gente vai ter aí agora em maio, né, dos dias 18 a 22 de maio, a gente está montando aí o grupo de brasileiros que vai para os Estados Unidos, vai ser em Orlando. A gente vai ter lá o Total Rewards. Para quem não sabe ainda o que é o Total Rewards, é a maior conferência de remuneração do mundo, feita pela World at Work, e a gente monta sempre o grupo de brasileiros aqui. A gente já foi para Atlanta, para San Diego, agora em 2024 a gente esteve em Cincinnati, visitando, além de ter todo ali as sessões, né, as apresentações, que são mais de 150 temas que são apresentados ali, você monta toda a tua trilha. Durante 3 dias, né? Você tem eventos de interação para conhecer as pessoas, e também a gente tem a visita no último dia lá, onde você tem a visita em uma empresa, né? A gente já foi na Delta, a gente já foi na Procter & Gamble, na P&G, assim, experiências bem legais, né? Várias pessoas aí que já tiveram com a gente, vão estar de novo, e espero que vocês estejam com a gente também. Então acompanhe a gente lá também, né? Conversando com a gente pela G3, conversando com a gente pela Forma, a gente vai estar junto aí e vai ser muito legal. E quem vai estar lá também, esse cara aqui, com certeza vai estar lá.
A gente vai levar o podcast para lá. Quem sabe a gente não tem até uma apresentação lá.
Quem sabe, hein?
Dia 9.
Isso aí.
Obrigado, até mais, bye bye.
Valeu.
Thank you so much. Bye bye, take care.